Hey guys, it's Danny, and we're at the Dartmouth Handcrafter Guild for their 50th anniversary to see Shawna at Sterling Coast Designs. Come along. Hi Shawna, how are you?
Hi, how you doing?
Everything is so beautiful, so delicate.
Thank you so much. You're bringing out the blue velvet for Christmas,
It's
making it
beautiful.
all fancy.
This is your first time at this market, is that correct?
It is, yeah, and what a time to be here.
Yes.
I mean, really, 50 years.
It's wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
So good for the community to bring everyone together just before the Christmas season.
I work full-time with Sterling Coast Designs, but I don't have a storefront. So this gives me a chance to go ahead and meet my public and get a chance, you know, hear those ideas back and forth. And also, you know, it's great for sales. You know, when I'm designing, I have definitely Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis in mind. But also Laura Croft from Tomb Raider.
Ooh.
So yeah, I like to mix it up a bit. And although these are, you would see them as a classic design. That's very intentional.
Yeah, of course.
But I do like to put a little twist on them. I mean, these are. This is kind of, this is far out for me. These are new on the table. They're the biggest ones I've ever done like that. You know, take on a classic hoop. It's fun, actually. It's just fun. You want to come up to my studio?
I would absolutely love to.
Oh my gosh, okay, all right. I don't actually invite many people out. I live on my own, so it is a private space, but yes, absolutely. Oh, that would be so much fun.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I will check on you a bit later to see how you're doing.
Well, we're doing great.
Well,
I'm so glad you came by.
Thank you, and we'll see you in a little bit.
I'm Deb Doman, and I'm honored to be the president of the Dartmouth Handcrafters Society. But the history of the Guild starts 50 years ago, 1974. The Guild was established by 6 volunteers. And the mission is twofold. It's to give the vendors a place to network, to promote their crafts, and to sell their crafts. We are a guild. We do charge every vendor membership, and through that membership we give them benefits like insurance and other perks that we can find. And the attendees pay attendance. But where does all this money go? This money all goes to charity once we've paid our bills. We've given over $260,000 since 1982. We have given more than that, but nobody has the records before 1982.
Ready?
So we're very proud and honored to have made it to the 50th mark. We're having a grand opening.
50 years. Has it been here for 50 years?
Yes.
Or was it really?
Yes.
Oh my word.
Yes.
So it's never changed. It's just been in this.
No, it's
that's
been
amazing.
here, and I find that amazing that it's like a pilgrimage every year to come to the Sportsplex in this arena. One of the new things that we did this year was have the pipe and drape.
Okay.
So the lovely curtains.
Yeah.
So
it
everybody
looks
has a
beautiful.
backdrop.
No, it looks amazing.
To make their little booth individual and unique. But I would love to have been a vendor here 50 years ago to just see what the vibe was then. Do you know what I mean?
What's it like setting up for a market of this size?
Well, we've been planning for 1 year. We start planning as soon as the show ends. We start planning for the next year. So we have to have a contract in place with the Sportsplex for the days, for the weekend. Then we need to have the pipe and drape, and we have to have electricians come and lay the electrical. We need to get the floor, the ice covered, because if you're feeling chilly, it's because you're sitting on ice.
Yeah, the ice doesn't go away.
The ice does not go away, it's still here. Then we have to order the tables, and all the little logistics that now Darwin is taking care of is really, it takes a lot of pressure off the board, because we were doing the whole thing ourselves for many years. So that's part of the setup on this side of it. But for a vendor, you have to be making for months in advance.
Oh my goodness.
But for food vendors, like some things are not, like they don't have a long shelf life.
Yeah.
So,
I find that's the most difficult thing about food vendors is
yes.
it's not like you can, hold on to everything for the next market.
Yes, you have to be making continuously.
Yeah.
And I know one of the vendors upstairs, her name is Peggy, and she makes all the Christmas, the wooden Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
They are literally making for one whole year before for this show.
Oh my goodness.
So there's a lot of preparation that goes
I bet.
into making depending on what you sell.
Hi, Shawna.
Hi, how are you? It's good to see you again.
Thanks
oh my gosh.
for having me.
Oh, my pleasure.
When you invited me, I was so excited to see how you make your jewelry.
Sharing that is a really big passion of mine. I've actually acquired an apprentice this year. So
Really?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. I definitely need more help. My company, Sterling Coast Designs, is doing really well. And I'm having the problems that, everybody wants to have. Growth. Yes. It isn't really simple for jewelry people to get into farmers markets. No, we have a lot of crafters out there, and we do also have a lot of formally trained jewelers. But it is kind of a saturated industry. I think that we're evolving to expect fine craft at our farmers markets.
But I don't really see your style of jewelry anywhere, any farmer's market I've been to.
I actually hear that a lot, and I'm really grateful that that's recognized. I love a clean, classic design. Well, I'm glad to have you guys in the studio. Today, I'm going to be working on an old piece I had first developed when I was going to school. It's Pangean, and it was my very first design. I absolutely love it. So I'm just going to square off this bezel here. Well, right now it's wire that I have actually rolled nice and flat. Pangea was the original continent, and then Canada was made out of that. But I've been across Canada, I've lived across Canada, and I love it. And this is why my first piece was actually to pay homage to Canada, and I called it Pangea.
What is the role of the board now that Darwin Group has kind of integrated in?
The role of the board is to support the vendors. That's our primary role.
Okay.
I think our secondary role is to be to give back to the community in the fundraising that we do. Darwin Group's relationship with us started because it was becoming very challenging, just a board of 5 members, to put on a show of this size.
Yes.
So,
And you've been doing it for so long.
we've been doing it for so long. Somehow they managed to do it back then, but I guess everything is changing, and we needed to include technology, and like one of the new things is the tap at the door.
Yes.
That is really helpful because before it was just you had to pay cash, and if you didn't have cash, you couldn't come in. So we want to make it accessible.
Yeah.
So these are some of the changes that partnering with Darwin has brought in. And they vet all the vendors.
Oh, okay.
Before Darwin came, we literally either went to vendors' homes, we went to their businesses.
Oh my gosh.
We met with them because we wanted to see their product.
Yeah.
So now Darwin has taken our list. They are now using that, and they're like, okay, yeah, that looks good, that looks great. And if there's anybody new, we'd love to add them.
Oh my gosh.
So they have been so supportive, and they've really taken care of all of the tiny little details. And so we're just collecting member fees. We put the meetings on, we liaise with the vendors, and we offer the support to the vendors.
So how long have you been coming to the Dartmouth Handcrafters Guild?
So we've been here for 4 years now.
Oh, wow.
We've been in a few couple spots, but this is our second year down
Yeah.
here, so which is nice.
Do you like this spot?
I do. I'm right on a corner, so it's nice
Yeah.
and spacious.
Yeah. So what's the vibe of the market, or what has the vibe been in the last 4 years?
So this is the first year it's in a new time, which is like after Christmas or after Halloween.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's going to bring a little bit more hype for Christmas.
Yeah.
But it's always been a great show. It's never been a bad turnout, consistent sales.
That's
so
good.
Can't complain about it at all, right? So, and it's a great place to get Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
Start the shopping season.
I
with us,
know.
right? So.
Can you tell me a bit about why you chose the Dartmouth Handcrafters Guild?
Its reputation. Yeah, that's a really easy one. I had graduated during COVID, so all of the plans I had kind of got a little messed up. And so coming here, I have relied on word of mouth, fellow entrepreneurs who work at the markets, crafters, artists, just about everybody I know. And everyone is so lovely here. This one was highly recommended. It's been around for 50 years. Wow.
I know, that's incredible.
Like, really?
I feel like markets in Nova Scotia are celebrated unlike anywhere else. The community really comes together.
Boy, oh boy, do they ever. What you can see on the top there is the darker spots are actually more solid. So it's liquid on top. And I am pulling it using the heat. Metal loves to go to where heat is. And we're going to try and make some little valleys. There we go.
I noticed a lot of volunteers, I think, when I first came in with the vests.
Yes, so the volunteers are girls from the Dartmouth High, which is just across the street, maybe this way.
Yeah, one of the ways.
One of the ways. They are on the football team. I say football.
Is it soccer? Yeah.
It's not, it's football.
Okay, we'll agree to disagree on that one.
So they come every year and they help with the load in and load out. And the guild gives them a donation for their football team.
Wow.
So we do support a few local charities.
That's so
we try to
beautiful.
pick charities that are in Dartmouth, and we are partnered with Feed Nova Scotia and Bide a While, where I got my cat Poppy.
I love Bide a While. They're so wonderful. What would you say is the vibe of this market?
Well, something I've noticed in being a vendor in Nova Scotia for the past 7 years is the changing demographic of markets in general.
That's interesting.
This market has been going for 50 years.
Yeah.
This is our 50th anniversary. And I think that the vendors that we have now are so diverse in cultural backgrounds, in what products that they offer. And so the vibe has become more exciting, I think.
That's
I
good.
think it's exciting for the shoppers to come and see just all the different things that you can get at the market as opposed to maybe what it was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of ceramics and knitting and quilts and so on, but now you can get
There's
so many
everything.
different things. There's everything at
Something
the
for
market.
everyone, for Christmas.
There is, and we have one vendor who makes natural pet food.
Oh.
And she has chicken feet and turkey necks. I think that diversity in the vendors' products makes the market really exciting.
We're here at the Dartmouth Handcrafters Guild. Is this your first time here?
No, we've been here probably the last 5 years. When
Oh,
it's been-
wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So do you guys have a favorite vendor or anything you like to see, or?
We normally look for the handcrafts.
Yeah.
A lot of the Christmas handcrafts normally, but there's others. You know, I just purchased some interesting like Peanuts memorabilia and different things like that.
Yes.
So just anything like that. We don't buy a lot of food stuff. We used to, but we kind of slowed down on that. But it's always good. We did get some spices a few booths back, so.
That's amazing.
Kind of everything. We're just here to look, and if we see something we like, we get it.
That sounds like a relaxing afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of plan it. We come this day, the first day out,
Yeah.
because normally the crowds are smaller.
I'm doing this old school. Make sure our solder took. I have to rotate it because it is not a straight vessel that I am trying to shape it to. I know this seems really crazy, but we save our dust. All of our extra little pieces and dust get turned right back into sterling silver. The beauty of this is that when I'm finished, you will not even know it was two different pieces. There's no seam.
So what would you say the application process is like?
So the application process has actually changed now that Darwin is managing the show.
Okay.
When I first applied, you just had to listen out for the word of mouth, like when was the show, and just try to get your application in ASAP. So now we advertise on Facebook, we have our website, and vendors can send in their application. Darwin, they decide, is your product unique? Is it eye-catching? And then vendors will get an acceptance letter.
With that, you're kind of eliminating real competition. Like you're not having like 100 of the same things. Like it brings a diverse crowd.
And that's something that, as a member on the board, that I've really pushed for is diversity in a sense of the uniqueness of what vendors are offering, and also cultural diversity. I think it's really important. As a person of color, I think you have to represent at markets to the population that we're serving.
Of course.
So we want everybody to come to the market. So we don't want it to be just so exclusive. Like you can only get this at the market.
Yeah.
Like you should be able to come and get everything at the market.
How many times have you been at the Dartmouth Handcrafters Guild?
This is actually my first year.
Oh.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it.
It is the 50th year, so
it is. It was a good year to do it as my first time.
What has your experience been like so far, kind of getting set up for the market, the application process?
This particular market has actually been pretty flawless in terms of
That's awesome.
Everything from the application to they're very good at communicating everything. Everyone knew the plan for this weekend like a couple of weeks in advance, where everyone was located. So it's been pretty flawless, which has been really nice.
What kind of brought you to the market scene?
Chocolate.
That's my passion too.
Chocolate and sugar. That I started making hot chocolate bombs to start, and then things kind of evolved. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Things kind of evolved. So I started doing chocolate-covered Oreos, chocolate-covered pretzels, and then I get bored every once in a while. So then I find something else. So this year I kind of started shifting my focus to sugar cookies.
This was your first time at the Dartmouth Handcrafters Guild. Mm-hmm. What was involved in preparation for it? Like, how did you know how much to bring?
Well, I've kind of got a formula for each market, but with the Dartmouth Handcrafters Guild, and especially with it being its 50th anniversary, I was really concerned. I definitely was. I think I probably doubled my expectations for that particular market, which is good because that just means, I've got more product for my other shows. I believe I have 17 days of Christmas shows this year.
Wow. Also
learned a new trick of billing it halfway. That was a really large game changer as an artist. I used to, I got to build 40 of these earrings. Yeah. That's exhausting, and honestly, it's boring. Yeah. So I might do a dozen and leave the other forms half done, and if I need them for the next show, well, that's great news.
There's a lot of people who this is their first year, which is so exciting.
Yes.
But is that kind of normal, or do you guys get kind of people who come for the 50 years, or?
One of the things that has happened as a result of the new board is that we want new talent.
Okay.
So we encourage people who have been coming for 50 years to continue to come, but we also want new people because new people bring new energy, they bring new flavor, and we don't discourage anybody, but we don't want to have any like as seen on TV products.
Yes.
Stuff that you can buy at the dollar store.
Yeah.
We want people to hand make everything.
We're
the Dartmouth Handcrafters Guild.
Yep.
So hopefully everything here has been handmade by an artisan or a vendor.
In Nova Scotia.
In Nova Scotia. so that people who are coming can have that unique maritime experience coming to a market. And we also mentor new vendors. So that's something I love to do. There's a couple of vendors upstairs actually who are brand new to the show. They didn't have any experience doing a big show, and it can feel very intimidating.
Of course.
Coming into a venue like this where there's so many vendors, so many people. So we mentor vendors that are new in that we teach them how to set up their table, how to market themselves and their product, and just how to interact with the public. Because some people just prefer to sit down and let their product do the talking. But I think it's important to tell everybody about your product, like the journey of it, like how it gets from basically you to them.
And this obviously takes a lot of gas. So it is kind of an expensive technique, but very natural and beautiful. There we go.
Hi, Shawna. How are you?
Hey, Danny. So, did you find some good stuff?
I found so many things. Like, it is so beautiful here.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
How's your first year?
Well, I'm loving it. Wonderful conversations, and
That's amazing.
No surprise. I actually like to talk a lot. So I'm meeting beautiful people.
That's amazing.
Yes, yeah.
Any beautiful stories you have from today?
Let's see. Actually, I gotta tell you, one of my favorite is actually meeting Ivory, who's next to me. She's an educated designer, and she has her own fashion line, and I'm really, really impressed with it and all of her the spirit behind her line. So yeah, I was really, really happy to meet Ivory.
Obviously, there's 2 more days left of this market.
Yes.
When you leave here, what does that mean for your table?
It means takedown.
You're taking everything with you?
We won't take the bus and the displays, that's fine. But the jewelry has to be packaged. Everything does come home, and then we turn off the lights, and well, I don't mind so much the takedown, but I gotta be honest, it's the setup in the morning when you're like, oh, it would have been nice just to have a storefront and leave it.
Yeah.
It's all, that's not even where I'm interested. This is why I work in metal.
Yeah.
You don't want me working with anything delicate. Yeah, this stuff is good and strong. I need it to be strong.
I love that. I feel all of your visions, I think you've executed perfectly here.
Well, it's a team effort. It's definitely not just my ideas. I can say that my ideas have been shouted down on occasion, but I think that brings the balance.
Yeah.
Because if it's just one voice, if it's just one type of product, the same vendors every year, then the change is not happening, and I think that's so important.